What is up, everyone? You may know us.
Wait,
What?
wait.
What?
So we started recording?
Yeah.
Wait. So you press the record button?
Yeah?
Like like I- I'm being heard right now?
You are being heard. We are on air.
On air is insane.
Welcome back to our third episode of the Space Treehouse podcast. Um,
Windy Road.
you may know us from the Misfits, and you may know me from my singing career as Marsvale Music. Let's get into this episode. So
No screen sharing.
what we're looking at first is, let me get screen sharing real quick. Okay, so what we're looking at first is some people with main character syndrome. Okay, how do I tell someone with main character syndrome to stop it? My dad is 100% the main character. If you haven't encountered the jokingly named main character syndrome before, it's when a person goes about everything in their life as if they were the most important part of the situation and that everyone should care about the impact it's had on them. Now, my dad is not a bad person, but he just has the tendency to become the main character of every situation. The example happening at the moment and that I need advice with is that he's kind of stolen some of my mum's interests and is passing them off to their mutual friends as his interests. Think particular films, particular musicians, that kind of thing. Of course, he is also he is also allowed to love what my mom loves. She doesn't have a monopoly on those interests, but when he speaks, he'll say, I really love ABC. I'm a huge fan of XYZ. My mom is struggling a bit with her mental health at the moment, and she's been taking it personally that he doesn't include her in the things that she introduced him to. Like her identity is getting lost in a way. I've reassured her that he just likes those things too, now that she has introduced them to him, and that has helped her to feel better. The main problem is that we need advice on how to explain this to my dad. He doesn't know he's doing these things, and it seems like small, insignificant issues, but he doesn't involve my mum in his story, if that makes sense. It's not we love things. If I tell him, he'll say, "Oh, piss off! I don't do that. You're being a daft," and get defensive, but condescendingly laugh it off and treat us like idiots. That's the way
You
he is.
dirty bastard.
If we
You
demonstrated to him,
hobnobbler, you.
you knob. If
You know.
if we demonstrated to him, i.e., get my mum to say it in front of him, I really love this thing of his, then he will get cross that she stole his thing and totally not see the point. I'm too close to the situation to think outside of the box and in an outsider perspective. Rationally, not knowing my dad at all, how would you explain? You see, personally, I don't know how to communicate with people, so uh, uh, but with people with main character syndrome, as they call it, um,
As they call it.
like sadly, I would have to say that I don't think there's really anything you can do. Like I feel like they're just like self-absorbed, arrogant asshats who you can't really do anything about, and it's sad, but alas, that
The
is.
world. But alas,
But
it is just this
uh,
world we live in.
it is just the world we live in, and there's quite nothing we can do about it. So, let's look at the comments. Um, does your mom want to talk to him about it, or do you think it's more you leading this charge of wanting to help? If your mom doesn't want your help, you need to stay out of it, unfortunately. OP responded and said, "Ah, it's hard to say. I definitely wouldn't talk to my dad without her express permission, and she may say, I don't want you to talk to him because I don't want to be a bother, or something, brush it off. But any advice here, I'm hoping to relay it to her. But any advice I get here, I'm hoping to relay to her, rather than act on myself. She can also approach him with your advice too, if she doesn't want me to say anything. Yeah. Let's look at our next main character. Let me pull this image up for y'all. Um, let's see. So, it says, main character syndrome. Is it only idiots that park like this in these sorts of cars, or is it the car that turns these people into idiots? Um, what do you got against Audis? God damn. But aside from that, yeah, no, it is, uh, yeah, it is it is highly unfortunate, but again, at the end of the day, you can't help it with these types of people
Yeah,
because they're just like, they're so absorbed in their own little world that revolves around them, where they think that they are the sun of their little universe, to where you cannot change them. And that's the sad
yeah.
reality of it. Let's look at the comments. If I had a shitty car, I would squeeze on his left and park there. In my country, we play a game called You Want to Be Stupid? I will be stupid and a half. And then OP responded and said, I thought about it to be honest. But I didn't want to stoop. My shitty car is the white one to the left, parked sensibly, may I add. And then another comment says, "What's funny is more than half the car doesn't even warrant that kind of attitude. That's an incredibly super basic Audi." Yeah. The OP responded said, "Audi equals you've made it in life. Can already guarantee his indicators have never been used and he drives up everyone's ass." Why are we
Get it,
shitting on
drive.
Audi so bad, man?
Get it, drive. Drive. So they're talking about cars.
All right, next main character syndrome situation. Um, Tree, let's talk about this name. They can't know, but like let's talk about this name. Um, what is the worst case of main syndrome oi, oi. What is the
Main
worst
syndrome.
what is the worst case of what is the worst case of main character syndrome you've ever encountered? Okay, this comment says, I'm an acquaintance of the family. She had a birth defect in her legs that made walking somewhat difficult. Not impossible at all. Just not something she could do a lot of. She had the ability to walk and climb stairs. I've seen her do both. She was awkward at it, but she could do it. I mention this because apparently at a niece's graduation, she decided that her niece needed to help her to her seat, as the niece was supposed to leave the ceremony partway through, come down off the stage in her robes, and escort this woman to her seat before going back. Well, as you may imagine, the school didn't seem willing to accommodate to this, so other members offered to help her, but as it wasn't the attention-grabbing stunt she wanted, she decided that the best way to punish her family was to seat herself, by flopping down on the floor and moaning and groaning as she crawled on all fours. As I understand it, her family was running along beside her trying to help her, but she ignored them. She just did a belly crawl up the stairs and made a big show of it. That is outrageous. Like, what?
Mm-mm.
I just don't like understand how someone can be so insanely like entitled. Like that is so
Yeah.
entitled. I would be so insanely pissed if I was about to graduate and my aunt got on the ground and started crawling on all fours. I would sock her in her face.
Bro, you shapeshift into a dog mid freaking graduation. What the heck?
Because if she's willing to do that shit, I would just I would just fuck furry, furry, you're a furry. Just louder than the entire auditorium. Now, to continue our train of talking about entitled people, let's move on to nice guys and girls who try to mask themselves as amazing human beings who will serve you so right in life, but turn out to be insane, psychotic, stalker, uh, just weird people. Nice girl, ex-girlfriend addiction edition. So he says, found this screenshot while digging through my 8,000 picture gallery. These texts are like 3 to 4 years old. Obviously, my ex was crazy. She knew my previous girlfriend cheated on me twice. When this girl would get drunk, which was every day, if we argued, this was her go-to. I typically ignore her when an argument developed to her drunk raging. She'd say this is one of her few things to get under my skin. Look at the dates it was all the time. Can't believe I put up with that for so long. Okay. So the screenshot says, girl says, gonna all of your friends, stupid female dog, F you. And then a month later on Halloween actually, she says, your friend awake or and then she says, honestly, a word that rhymes with corny. Honestly, corny, about to hit up your friends down bad. Um, gonna try to eat your friends at this point. Gonna eat one of your friends for real. Just letting you know, I'm for real gonna get your friend to come me.
Golly.
Mm.
Okay, he can
These
have
are
it.
all like months, days apart, which is insane to me. Like the one it says gonna your friends at this point was on January 6th of 2022, and then it says gonna one of your friends for real on the same year 4 days later. So that's insane. So one of the comments says, "Be honest, how long did you stay with this woman?" The OP responded and said, like 6.5 months, so way too long. But I'd say the first 1/3 of that she wasn't crazy. One of the comments says, "Never understand when people tolerate this even once. If a relationship partner said this kind of shit to me, they'd be out so fast. They'd look like they were late for a fight." Um, OP responded and said, I guess I would excuse it as she's only saying stuff while she's drunk. I blamed her drinking, never blaming her. Not anymore. Lesson learned. One of the comments says, oh, so she's gonna go suck a D to get back at you. Crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, let's look at our next one. The state of r/nice girls. Um,
Droid.
so I'm going to assume that, okay, so a guy says, some random off topic text to make this conversation look legit. What? Oh, they're making fun of r/nice girls.
Oh. Oh, yeah. I've never been on our side with a nice girl, so I don't know if this is accurate or not.
It is insanely accurate. Um, okay. Hey, blank, how are you? Where have you vanished? Hey, um, hey, Blup, pretty good. Work's been busy, haha. What's up? Manager and all. I was wondering if you wanted to catch a few drinks this weekend. Sounds good. Sunday work? Yes, we can call it a date. Yeah, no, lol. Do you want to be put in the no-no square? Blurp. Why not? You do know I'm seeing meow, right? Yes, but y'all
What?
aren't dating, right? I'll be honest, I've kind of been thinking about you since you hugged me at the funeral. I've not been feeling great lately, and I think going out with you would help me get better. What the fuck? Am I being selfish? You there? Sorry if I overstepped. I understand you're grieving, and I would definitely love to be there for you as a friend, but this ain't it. I know, but my point is, you being with isn't public knowledge. With me, it won't be the case. You won't have to hide, and I know how you hugged me. My other friends hugged me too, but it wasn't like how you did. I could feel the difference. I really want to go out and feel better. My mental state is all screwed up since my father's passing. Don't leave me on red. Again, I'm sorry for your loss, but please don't use it as an excuse to cook up stories in your mind. I'm uncomfortable continuing this conversation, and I'll end it here. I'm not using it as an excuse. I really thought you would understand. Don't be like that. Blurp and bleep were right about you. You are selfish and only think about yourself. Here we are again with the silent
I
treatment.
hate when
You
people do that, bro. Like,
you
oh,
there?
I
I really
ain't,
don't want to lose you as a friend.
like, bro, I hate when people would do that, bro. Like,
Genuinely.
when you and your significant other break up, now all of a sudden you're ugly and don't deserve anybody. Like,
Yeah. And then so the text says, I've known this woman for over 10 years and there was literally zero romantic build up to this. It has always been platonic between us and I'm frankly frustrated. Not because she asked me out on a date, I understand she wants a change of pace, but more because she thought using her father's death to guilt trip me would work. Insane. I see a lot of people I see a lot of people saying I should cut her some slack because she's grieving or that I'm being a D. So here's some context.
ugh.
We've known each other for over 10 years, but that doesn't mean we're best friends. Close. We genuinely talk every few weeks and meet every few months. Her father passed in June 2025. That's when we met. Since then, I kept the door open for her and to talk to me when she felt low. I added her to my Discord so she could hang out with my friends, watch movies, play games, listen to music, or just talk as a distraction. My friends and I have listened to her vent for hours when she needed it. She's actually had more one-on-one calls with them than me. I I've also done a lot of kind things for her without thinking of it, which now I think she misread as signs. Regarding manipulation/outburst, I won't say it isn't completely out of the blue. One of her exes broke up with her partly because she would many times play the victim. Never happened with me though. Lastly, the girl I'm seeing, we haven't announced it yet because it's only been 5 to 6 months and we're being cautious due to a
Only.
complicated shared history. Only my friends in the Discord server, including her, know about it. She's well aware my girl and I are doing our best to make the relationship work. I will maybe talk to her somewhere down the line, but I won't deny this won't have a lasting impression on our friendship. Yeah. Let's look at the comments. Damn, I can't imagine telling a friend he sucks for not cheating with me on his girlfriend. Yeah, yeah, I just couldn't fucking imagine, like, having a friend who was of the opposite sex, and I'm like, hey, you gave me a hug even though we've been platonic for 10 years. According to my calculations, you gave me a hug, which means you wanna have with me. Let's go on a date.
Mm-mm.
Like, um, So this comment says, "The explicit, I think using you will make me feel better. It's wild. Like absolutely not even pretending that she sees him as a person at all." Yeah. Um an interesting tactic I've noticed back when I was dating nice girls, exactly what she's done here. X and Y were right about you. There's always an attack made via of some proxy participants who quite often haven't said the things the nice girl is claiming. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one of the comments is basically like saying, like, what she basically said. I'm entitled to date you because it's therapy for me. What the hell? Um, Now guys, let's segue into some nice guys. Matter of fact, when you give the nice guy a chance. Nice guy says, I had a really good time yesterday and would love to go out again soon. Me too. It was really nice getting to know you. Would you like to pick the next destination for our date? Sure. I'll let you know when I'm free. Okay, sounds good. Can't wait to see you again. Same to you. And then the next morning, he texts her and says, Hey, good morning. And then 2 hours later, she hasn't responded. He says, Hello, or he says, Hello, can I please get a reply? She says, Sorry, I just got to work and didn't see your messages. He says, So you didn't see my messages while you were getting ready in the morning? She says, No, I'm usually not using my phone when I'm getting ready and check it when I'm out of the house. Then he says, I mean, okay, can we call? I'm at work, I can't call. Oh, well, you can call me later. When I'm free, yes. Okay, don't forget. It should be your lunch break right now. Can you call me? I'll call you when I'm off work. You never called me. I'm sorry, work was crazy busy today and I forgot as soon as I got home. I can call you tomorrow. I'm very exhausted today. Shake my head. Fine, I guess. Then the next morning, Wednesday, he texts her and says, Good morning. And then 4 hours later, he says, Why do I never get a reply back? I'm working and don't have the time to check my phone 24/7. I reply when I can. So putting your work over me is basically what you're saying. Huh? I barely know you. I don't think we're at the level yet where I need to be sending good morning texts like a couple every day. Well, we're getting to that stage, I hope. Maybe, not sure yet. We've only went on one date so far.
Oh,
Well, we're going on another one, so I'd say we're getting there. Left me undelivered. Wow. Will you reply to me today? Hello, why am I always texting you first? Hi, why aren't you texting back? Bruh. Maybe because I have work, which I have told you multiple times, and I cannot be texting you all day. You always choose work over me. I feel like I'm the only one putting effort into this relationship. Are you crazy? What relationship? You are practically still a stranger to me. We went on one date, and now you literally won't leave me alone. In fact, I think I'm going to call off the second date. I think I'm going to cut off the second date and cut off all contact. Sorry, but I don't want to see this moving forward. I hope you find success with another girl. What? Why? All I did was be nice to you, and this is how you repay me? This is why nobody is dating girls these days. I'm just trying to further our relationship. You're doing nothing, just being pathetic. I hope you know you lost out. You're a loser. Effing female dog. You were ugly anyways. I only texted you because I felt bad. Now I know that I can get much better, 'cause you're a floppy A female dog. Effing Heor. Wow.
wow.
Wow. She says she says in the post, this guy's been trying to take me out for a few weeks. I finally gave him a chance and this the dating world is crazy these days, laughing my ass off. Insane. This comment says, totally uncool that he called you a floppy A female dog, but I gotta tell ya, I'm telling my best friend this the first chance I get. Somebody is responding to it saying, quote, Are you putting work over me? Unquote. Yeah, female dog, I am.
These bills ain't gonna pay itself.
Genuinely. Um, LOL, quote, I feel like I'm the only one putting effort into our relationship, unquote. After one day is bonkers. And then one comment says, am I the only one that thinks 7 a.m. is way too early to text anybody? Yeah, I mean, well, technically, I text people at like 6 a.m. Like, cause I'll text them memes, cause I'll be awake. But like texting them
Uh,
good morning and then questioning why you didn't get a response is insane to me. But yeah, no, that they're just like not good people. Like I will never understand people whose like entire like it's so entitled. But yeah, let's move on to our next nice guy experience. Okay. She says, well, I ended up telling my mom that you asked for ear. I was super upset and uncomfortable. She told me to stop hanging out with you, so I don't think she'd appreciate it if you came over, honestly. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I just said that because I thought that's what you wanted. I want to just spend time with you and get to know you, honestly. If ever comes up, that's cool, but that's not what I'm looking for. I promise. Um, I'm really not that kind of guy. I'm sure you can tell. What made you think that's what I wanted? When we spoke over the phone, I thought I was clear I wasn't attracted to you on a non-platonic level, and you know I'm seeing someone. Yeah, I'm just awkward as all, and I didn't think it was serious between you and him, so I thought you were trying to signal something to me. I'm sorry if I was wrong. I tend to overthink these things. I'm glad we can hang out anyways, but if you're serious about this other guy, then there's no chance that we'll be together. Then I'll leave you alone. Take care, Isabel. Maybe we can hang in the future when I get a girlfriend, and I'm not such a corny bastard. You're really not attracted to me? I'm not attracted to you, no. Then what was all that the other day? Maybe that was nothing, but I felt something. You really didn't feel anything? No, not really. I actually noticed more red flags than usual. Okay, well, I'm not
oh,
going to argue with you right now. Why would you ask me to watch movies with you and all that other stuff? What is this strategy? That's what friends do. It doesn't make sense. I don't think you can be friends with men like that. But it seems like you only care to hang out because you want to be more than friends. I have plenty of male friends like that. Well, I'm down to do that anyways. I just thought that you were using me emotionally. How? Like I said, women won't take seriously and men take emotion seriously. Like I said, women take seriously and men take emotion seriously. You can use me emotionally as much as I can use you early. It's not fair to say that only men use women. You said er You said men take love seriously and women take seriously. Seriously. Personally, I take seriously and love even more seriously. I don't know about that. I can use you, yes, but how did I? Explain. I think you're playing games with my emotions. How? You're just playing dumb, you know? No, I don't. I know your type. Okay, if that's what you think, I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise. Well, at least I understand. Doesn't that warrant my any respect? You think you understand, but I don't think you do. Maybe. Do I deserve less respect because I don't want to sleep with you? Like I don't understand. No, you deserve less respect because you use men emotionally. I I don't use women Ali. How do I use men emotionally? I expect a mutual relationship. You act like you like them or something. I'm sorry you thought this. I really don't know how you thought that hanging out with you and treating you with kindness or treating you with human decency is flirting or whatever. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's the other woman that use men emotionally. You really think you're different? You really think you're different? No. That's why I offered to have with you, 'cause I want to show you I am ready, and it's your choice. But you still have the expectation of can't you just say no? Isn't it cute and all? I did say no. To have a guy offer so casually, I don't though. It's not cute, no. Okay, I'm okay not having Okay, well I thought it might be. I'm sorry, I take it back. I should know better. You really didn't say you were too serious about the other guy though, for the record. You made it seem pretty obvious that you were into him that much, and I respect that normally, but it was different this time. Whether I'm seeing someone or not, you shouldn't legitimize me not wanting to have with you though. Yeah, but the offer wouldn't just be so offensive if I'm looking out for you. I just want to make you happy. How would you be looking out for me though? If if you're not happy with the other guy, I would rather be your boyfriend or something, cuz I think you like me. At least I'm trying. Everything you say about spreading myself thin and talking to just anyone was so I could make more time for you. It's so self-interested. I don't like you. I don't like that. How much more is there to this? Okay, there's not too much. Oh God, there is so much. I'm actually really invested to who I'm seeing. Well, that's about balance, Isabella. I don't even want you to see me if you're serious about this guy. Maybe it's not about me. Did you think of that? What is it about then? You hanging out with guys for no reason and using them emotionally. It's not fair to yourself or the guy. Okay, well, thanks for your concern. All I want is for you or anyone else in my life to see them make sense and everyone to see them make sense of it all and do something reasonably. So I guess we're not gonna hang out after this anymore. And maybe this will just be the way you are. And maybe this will just be the way you are too. Maybe we're good for each other because we can talk like this. Do you talk to the other guy like this? We actually communicate better than this. I think this is right, though. This is balanced. I really think so. This is how people who can really relate talk to each other. How do you talk to him? What do you mean better? I don't feel like I can relate to you, though. And I don't think you understand where I'm coming from. I do, though. Why else would I be asking these questions? Think about it, Isabel. Oops. I know you understand. You're a smart girl. When we communicate, he says I take he when we communicate, he takes what I say into consideration. I do the same sometimes. I do the same. Sometimes we don't argue, but we always try to have a level of understanding between us. We are agreeing right now, even though we're arguing. This is like magic. That's what it's all about. How are we agreeing? I promise you. What are we agreeing on? We understand each other even though we don't agree. That's what I meant by magic. I don't understand you though. Well, you must understand something or else you'd be cutting me off right now. You know I've been used emotionally. You can see that. I'm not cutting you off because of it because I'm a decent human being. I've been stonewalled before and it's not fair. Yeah, I've been there too. Obviously there's something between us. There's something wrong with us. I don't know what exactly. If I was using you emotionally, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But it has to do with using people emotionally. Can we just learn together? We don't have to be each other's possessions, but we can follow rules and respect each other. I really believe in that. I know you understand. Go ahead and date this guy if you want, and you'll see that you can't talk to him like this and it's not going to work. And then please message me. You're welcome to believe that, but my relationship with him is actually the best I've ever had romantically. Um, I've told you everything I know, Isabel. Okay, I'm not jealous, but I'm not jealous because I know you don't talk the same way. There's nothing romantic even in this. I hope you understand, but I'll leave it at that. You don't know anything about my relationship with him. Though, this is all assumption and speculation on your part. Believe what you like, though. You know, yeah, I know what I see. And then that's it.
Golly,
Comments
a whole
say,
bunch of
good gosh, I read the whole thing and the part where he goes, if you weren't dating him, it would have been so offensive about us, about asking for, yes, it would have been. He's crazy. And then OP responded and said, I don't know why that's so hard to understand. Somebody says, what a confusing jumble of verbal diarrhea on his part. Yeah, yeah. He's either from some opposite bizarro universe or a rom-com if this conversation is understanding, agreeing, and romantic to him. Yeah, yeah. More petty or two. Move on from that. Let's let's cool down with some petty revenge. Break my heart. Suffer from the long-term petty revenge. Several years ago, I was dating a man that seemed almost perfect. We started slow, keeping our kids out of it. He broke up with me once during the time we were dating, before I started bringing my child around him. Then, a short time later, he said he'd made a mistake and wanted me back. From that point forward, everything was great. We introduced our children to each other, met each other's family and friends, and it was all gravy. The cherry on top was that one night, laying in bed, he said he loved me and my child and would raise my kid as his own. I was in heaven. A week later, he told me, over the phone, that he wasn't feeling it anymore and told me to come get my stuff. I was absolutely hurt, but more angry because I was livid. I was livid because it wasn't just me that he hurt. He broke my child's heart. How do you explain to a small child that they won't see someone anymore? I handled that separately from my revenge. It turned out that although he hadn't been physically cheating on me, he had been talking to a woman at least a week. They were married less than 6 months after he broke up with me.
Mm.
Huh? Over the few following weeks of him dumping me, I started signing him up for things. Male samples of men's in male samples male samples of men's incontinence underwear, prostate health supplements, severe gas treatments, along with along with many erectile dysfunction treatment options like natural/herbal supplements, surgeries, and devices. The best part came about a month later after the breakup. I was friendly with one of his friends, we'll call her Meg, and we went out for drinks. After she had had a few, she finally said that she just had to know and asked me if my ex's problems had caused issues with our home life. Apparently, after the breakup, my ex was at Meg's and her husband's house one night and was so drunk and high that he peed himself while sleeping on their couch. They went over to my ex the next day for a cookout, and Meg found the incontents underwear under the sink in the bathroom. I acted uncomfortable with the question and told her that I didn't really want to talk about and that he hurt me and I wasn't going to give details of her private life. She nodded and winked knowingly at me, saying she understood. I have no idea if he ever convinced his friends that, in his early 30s, he didn't actually have an incontinence issue. It's petty, but it made me feel better. Um, well, oh, that says incompetence. I'm so retarded. That says incompetence. I was struggling throughout that entire unconscious. I don't
Mm,
know.
in
One of the comments says, "Are you sure he doesn't have an issue? He kept them and peed on a couch." I take it you were waiting for him to get married before you start signing him up with divorce lawyers. This is another petty revenge. Okay. What is the best legal petty revenge you can do to someone? Buy their kid a drum kit. Whenever Moon pisses me off when she has kids, I'm gonna just like give her kid a big ass cymbal and just BOOM
Whenever you get grounded, just like
BOOM. Counselor here, I had a lady tell me one time that she caught her ex cheating, so she took his business cards and wrote out the sign, "Sorry for dinging your car," and post about 100 left up in the parking lot. Oh my god. Sprinkle $30 of $1 powdered/dehydrated mashed potato packets on their lawn the night before it rains and watches their yard becomes an overnight potato pit. Sign them up for a metric F ton of spam. More petty revenge. What are some totally legal ways to get petty revenge on awful people? Use their name, go to a nursery, and order 1 to 2 tons of pigment. Oh my god, pig poop to be delivered
Oh,
to their front lawn.
oh,
Wear a baseball
oh,
cap, park away from the nursery, and walk to it. Pay in cash. I think this would be called a gift. It's legal to give gifts, isn't it?
oh, wow.
Tell lies about them to the people they care about.
That's just not worth it.
Yeah, that's just like messed up. How awful are they? She told my boyfriend one. Oh my god. She told my boyfriend of 1 month that I had a bunch of mental.
Wait, like,
Hello?
yeah.
Hello? She told my boyfriend of 1 month that I had a bunch of mental disorders and I I didn't and that I had in something feelings for
What?
and that I had oh god and that I had gross feelings for my brother and that it was a family secret. She was my brother's girlfriend of 4 years. Oh god. Sugar in the gas tank, seafood in the air conditioner. Um yeah, okay. That's okay. Let's go to let's segue into young people YouTube. Person says why people call 2023 is nostalgic is just crazy. Somebody responded and says mother effers when you're nostalgic over 3 years ago and not one during the Stone Age or some 2010s crap. Okay. Mm, mm.
Hmm.
9-year-old felt nostalgic about this trend from 2023. So it's a skibbity toilet, and it says, me when I was 6 or even 7. Now I'm 9. I can remember the childhood. Okay. All kids hate Law by Mike and love Roblox. Commenter posted, Low, my Mick. Poop emoji. Slep. Poop emoji. Slap and low my Mick love ours. Poop emoji. Bryn rot hetters. Poop emoji. Great meme receipt. Poop emoji. The girl in meh class. Poop emoji. Me. Stone face emoji. Rebex. Stone face emoji. Stella Bryn rot playa. Stone face emoji. Bryn rot team. Stone face emoji. My lavos. Stone face emoji. My friend Billy. Stone face emoji. New comment. It's not Roblox's fault. It's so popular they can't handle banning so much. They are busy, okay? So let Roblox go now. devil mad face, 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 hurt, devil mad face, devil mad face, mad face, devil mad face, devil hurt, devil mad face, devil mad face, devil mad face, devil hurt, devil mad face, devil mad face, devil hurt, devil hurt, devil mad face, devil hurt, devil mad face, devil. I'm unsubbing. And then, oops, our next one is child says, don't effing ban Robux. Mad face, mad face, mad face, mad face. I'm gonna come to your effing house and kill you, Inslur. Um,
Sometimes silence is the best response.
yeah. Somebody said, law by Mike, X emoji. Law by Inslur, check emoji. That's racist. Okay. I guess, well, I don't know. But it's a racial slur, so.
That
Those
is
who
indeed the
agree,
hard on.
those who agree, um,
He spelled
um,
agree wrong.
those who agree, those who agree, um, bicep, stone face, those who don't, those woe don't,
Those woes don't.
clown.
See, I just never know if people are rage baiting or not. It's hard
Genuinely,
to
somebody find
tell.
these kids in English class. Like, genuinely,
It's like, are they purposely saying this while purposely misspelling words?
genuinely.
Like, I don't get it.
Gang, I think he got you. I think he got too used to putting two G's right next to each other based off his track record. I think that's why he spelled agree wrong.
Oh, maybe,
I
maybe.
think that's why he spelled agree wrong. By the way, so that y'all can understand what we're saying, I'll pop it up on screen real quick. Let's see. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. I told it to remove. Bruh. Yes, okay. Um Now, to wrap this episode up, we're going to read a scary story as always. True story time. When I was about 4 or 5 years old, my parents had just separated. My mom was living in a 2 bedroom apartment. I had my own room, but I preferred to sleep in her bed whenever I was staying with her. Our 2 bedrooms were at the end of the hallway, directly across from each other. Our apartment was on the first floor, and I remember it was the middle of summer, and my mom had a window open in her room, which was directly behind the bed, above the headboard. Anyways, I woke up in the middle of the night and remember sitting up and seeing that our cat was sitting in the door frame of my mom's room. Her door was open and you could partially see into my bedroom. This was strange because our cat was typically always in the bed with us. As I was watching him, he walked into my bedroom and meowed. I turned to face my mom and wake her up. In 3, 4 seconds, it took her to wake up and ask me what was wrong. We both looked back in the doorframe, and there was a man standing by my open door making his way out of my bedroom. I still don't know how
Oh,
she managed to do it so quickly, but my mother proceeded to pick me up and literally throw me out of the screen window. Again, we were on the first floor, and maybe it was a 3 foot drop to the ground. She quickly followed, and we were able to start screaming for help and someone to call 911. Then the police came, but didn't see any signs of forced entry. Only that our front door was unlocked, which led them to believe the man must have exited that way. The strange thing was that my mom swore up and down that she had locked the door that night with the deadbolt and chain lock. About a week later, she was cleaning the kitchen and opened the door up to our water heater closet and found a notebook with names and drawings, as well as a pair of gloves and some gum wrappers. The police were called again, but all they could do was speculate that the man had been in our house and hid until we were asleep. Just to clarify, our apartment was on the ground level, so my mother didn't hurl me into a potential paralysis, just a 3-ish foot drop to grass. Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Insane. That is insane to me.
It is.
Let's read one more scary story, as that one was fairly short. Okay, this one is even shorter. Oh God.
Ooh.
Let's read. My big brother used to have an imaginary friend, and he would always play with him, but sometimes he would say, "Stop, leave me alone," or "No, I don't want to go in my room to play." My mom would ask him, "What's going on?" And he would say, "He won't leave me alone." Of course, my mom had no idea what he was talking about and thought it was just him being a kid with an imaginary friend. Well, a day after my brother's birthday, he had these balloons and keep in mind that my brother was just a little kid and he's obviously not tall enough, so he couldn't reach the plates, knives, forks, etc. It was around 10 or 11 p.m., and my mom heard the balloons pop, so she went outside and my brother looked really scared, so my mom asked him, "What's happened? Did you pop the balloons?" And my brother said, freaking out, "No, it was him," pointing to his imaginary friend that my mom obviously couldn't see. My mom saw the knife next to the balloons and immediately knew that he was too short to reach any of those things, so she said, "Get out of my house!" To my brother's imaginary friend. Since my mom couldn't see him, she asked he already left, if he left already, and he said he had left and thanked my mom. Later, about 10 or 15 minutes, my cousins came over and the cousin said that he saw a woman in all white with her hair in front of her face at the front door. Oh God. My brother said that
Oh.
that was his mom and she opened the door. My cousins were already inside and asked my brother if she was still there, and my brother said yes and that she was mad. She started to yell for her to get out and then asked my brother if she was still there, and he said no. My brother is 19 now and says he still sometimes sees him in the mirror.
Oh.
Oh
Ooh. Ooh.
my God.
Mm-mm.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Is having an imaginary friend a canon event?
I never had an imaginary friend, but I have a
I
story.
did.
My
I did,
brother,
but not for that long.
my little brother, for like 2 years, he had an imaginary friend.
I
And
only had an
then,
imaginary friend for a few days.
no, for like 2 years, my brother had an imaginary friend. And I can't remember what he said its name was, but I remember him saying that it was a baseball player. It had, like, he said so many details. So it was starting to like scare my mom because of how many details and how often he would be talking to this imaginary friend. She looked him up
Uh,
and found a baseball player from like the 60s that matched almost the exact description my brother had given.
Oh, is he deceased? Is he dead?
Yeah, he was dead.
Yo, bro, like that'd be crazy, bro. I think
And
I've heard
then
another story like that.
and then he had stopped like talking about the thing and my mom was like, "Where'd your friend go?" And he was like, "Oh, he went away into the white."
Yeah,
Yeah.
he he
No, what
he
is this
ascended to heaven.
demonic ass shit?
Yeah, he ascended to heaven.
Yeah. But I guess that wraps this episode up. We hope you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one. Peace out.